All the stars are right here.
This is Beyonce.
Yo, what's going on, man? This is Drizzy Drake.
It's the DJ Khaled going down.
You're tuned in to Risky Radio. Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
This is Hot 702.5.
It's Kristie J from the Chisholm Report. You're tuned in to Hot 702.5.
This is Kristen Gamer, and you are tuned into my mom, Kristie J.
Come talk shit and politics with Kristie J from the Chisholm Report every Saturday at 10 a.m. on hot7025fm.com.
Yeah, election time's coming. Who you gonna vote for? Yeah, if I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. Instead of spending billions on the war, I can use that money so I can feed the poor. Cause I know some so poor. When it rains, that's when they shower. Scream and fight the power. That's when the vulture devours. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. I know some soldiers that sleep but they can't dream. Wake up with screams, sounds of M16. So take this medal of honor for your bravery. I wish you the best, kid. You and your family. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president. But the radio won't play this. They call it rebel music. How can you refuse it? Children of Moses, tell the children the truth, the truth. It's not all that bling that's diamond. Tell them the truth, the truth. Most of y'all wear cubic zirconia. Tell them the truth, yeah. Your soul is worth more than diamonds.
If I was president, all blacks, I had reparation, no segregation, feed the nation so there's no famine. Muslims, Jews, Christians, would all hold hands every week on the beach. Party by the sand, word up. Take trips on Air Force One. Only to bring the homeless with no sneaks to Air Force One. Better schools in the hood, better teachers for the classes, making money, paying no tax. Find the best scientists, tell them come up with an answer. I want the cure for AIDS and cancer, but I gotta watch my back. Snipers on the hill with the steel, waiting to JF kills.
I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, I feel the rain coming, let me play my guitar for them right now.
Let's go.
Refugees, yeah.
Good morning, good morning. This is Kristie, and you are in with the Chisholm Report. Thank you. Every Saturday at 10 a.m., we are in here to be able to talk shit and politic with you. So thank you for your interest. I am Kristie J. I am a graduate of Southern University of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I have a political science degree and also a business management degree. Excuse me. And I'm very passionate about my people being informed about politics, government, public policy, community events, and also understanding what these things do and how we can make it work for us. Okay. So just thanking you once again for you guys coming in and being able to sit with us and talk to us. I'd like you to interact. It's 702-551-5261. Call in, okay? I have a couple of different subjects I want to talk about. So let me go ahead and get my call-in list. All right. Joe Biden, call in. Kamala, call in. People who live in Martha's Vineyard, call in. People who live in Florida, Texas, call in. People that live in Puerto Rico, call in. People, Telly's wife, call in. I want to talk to you. What else? Las Vegas Police Department, call in. Okay. So these are some of the people I would like to go ahead and get you guys to call in because I got questions. Okay. So let's start off by actually talking. Let me greet you and tell you how much I love to actually come in here and be able to talk about politics with you guys. I had an encounter with a person over the week that told me that they had watched my show and they didn't even know it. They were like, "Hey, you sound like this girl that I saw on Facebook, and she was talking about black people being empowered and how black people, brown people need to be able to understand that we are basically going through the same things and that we can learn from each other." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'm Kristie J." He was like, "How'd you?" I was like, so it surprised me and made me feel so good that it wasn't me, just soliciting listeners and stuff like that. This man literally had heard my show and was able to tell me about my show, and it felt really good. I just want to tell y'all something. This morning, my nephew was getting ready to go to an event because, he's a celebrity. And he gonna tell his dad got him up. He was like, "Come on, let's go," right? And he was like, "What I need to do is go back to bed," okay? That'd be the vibe for me for Tuesdays, okay? Not a Saturday, though. But I just want to give a shout out to my other little cousin. She had just gave birth to a little baby. He's a little cutie. Shouts out to our addition to our family. We love you. And that's about it for just my own little personal things. I had some situations with Christian this week, and I tried my best to be a person that was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to stand on this punishment. It lasted maybe about 45 minutes before I was like, go ahead and get on the game, which is horrible. So, if you have some parenting skills that you want to be able to push out to me and tell me how to be able to stand strong on punishment when your kids are not doing good, I don't know how to do that. I'm a forgiver. Okay. Let's talk about it and get over it. Okay. But I do need to learn that I can't just let him get away with stuff, because in life, they're not going to let him get away with that. So, in local weather, I want to say this. Today is beautiful. It is 81 degrees outside today with a light breeze, around about 30% of humidity. So they said later on tonight it'll be 69 degrees. And then tomorrow it'll be 95 degrees. You guys, there is a place out here called Palm Creek Ranch. It's out in Mawapa Valley area. It has like a little river and a little place where you can, camp out and stuff like that. It is beautiful. I would say if you're trying to get out, do a little hiking, be able to, get out with the kids, a little barbecue, little sit out. It's a great place to go. I plan on going soon. Okay, so if you go ahead and send me a link and let me know how your review of the place is. With weather around the country, you guys know that we are still in the middle of a heat wave, but not for us here in Las Vegas, which is weird. It's feeling really good, and everywhere else is super hot. You also have a tropical storm, Fiona, which is right now about to hit Puerto Rico. Okay, so yesterday, this was the pack and the track of it, and I'm gonna let you guys hear that.
Now to the tropical update we go. The new advisory is in on Tropical Storm Fiona. Not a lot of change with the strength. Winds of 60 miles per hour, moving west at 15 miles per hour. This should be moving across the Leeward Islands come tomorrow evening. And then Saturday into Sunday, we'll be tracking it as it moves right about the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And then on Monday, check out what we're seeing with our forecast track on Monday evening. It's in the vicinity of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Does it have a lot of interaction with land, or will it have more so a journey that keeps it over the waters? And that's going to help determine how strong of a system it will be at that point. But notice the official intensity forecast from the National Hurricane Center keeping it a tropical storm with 65 miles per hour winds as we go through the weekends. But whether it is going to be going more northward, a stronger system would favor a more northward track, or if it's a weaker system, it could stay more westward. And that's going to be important in terms of where we start to see its placement when it's about ready to make that turn up toward the north, because that's going to give us more information about where it will be in relation to South Florida and the Bahamas. What will it mean for South Florida and the Bahamas? Right now, it's too soon to pinpoint that, but we do need to keep an eye on Fiona, and you at home, make sure you're checking in with us to see what's going on with this tropical storm.
Okay. So for my people that's down there in Florida, once again, every year you guys have a bunch of it's hurricane season in that area. You guys be safe, okay? And if they tell you to evacuate, which I don't think that's going to happen with this storm, but most likely you get about 18 of these a year. Not really, more like 7. But be responsible for you and your family. And if they tell you to evacuate, please leave the area. It can get bad. You never know what's going to happen. Also, in local news here, tourists are complaining about skyrocketed prices for rooms and rates. Why don't you just stay your ass home? But more or less, what I mean by that is, what did you think is going to happen with the additional inflation that's happening all over the country? Just like here, we have to ship in, they have to pay for linens, pay for food, pay for cleaning, pay for drivers, pay for all these additional things. And if those things go up, then the prices of the rooms are going to go up. So just to give you guys a tip for everyone who is coming into town, it is best for you to find hotels that have players cards. They will give you 10 to 15% off on whatever you purchase in the casino, including rooms. Also, it is a very good idea to not stay on the strip. You can stay close. You can do like downtown area, which they are revamping and remodeling all the time. And it's a good vibe down there. But these are the best ways to be able to get the lowest cost and still be able to save your money. But I will never understand why people come to Vegas to be able to and budget in. I will lose about $1,000. I'll lose about $5,000. I would never do that. Okay, I'm not losing nothing. If it is not a sure thing, I'm not doing it. Okay, so enjoy. Okay. Also, Life is Beautiful festival road closes. So that festival started from the 16th to the 18th. The downtown area is sold up, people. So I normally cut through there so I don't have to get on the freeway. I'm not, okay? I'm going to take my butt down Maryland Parkway, okay? And be able to kind of skip around that area. But if you are going to be down in that area, it might be better for you to park on an off street and then Uber, Lyft to the actual event, okay? So you won't be late. What else? On my way here, something happened on the west side. Somebody call in. Reporting live. Okay, 702-551-5261. Something happened on 8th Street over there by the old Bilos. Okay, the Bales Market. You know stuff always happening over there. But it's always stuff happening in Henderson too. But that's not the point. The point is, somebody call and let me know what happened. Okay, and then also more news about the dude Tellis. Okay, so before I go, I have a clip about this, and this is him being arrested in 2020 with a domestic violence. Okay, so but with saying this, listen to how many times he has to tell his title, because he thinks it's going to help him. And let's listen to the clip. So we're going to be listening to the clip about Dallas being able to do him being a
I'm not trying to free, like, I'm not trying to free. The family's in there. All right, do you want to hold him here? I'll bring my car up. Don't. I've already done, please. Oh my.
Let me go. All right, so just to kind of give you guys an idea, the clip that I brought in was him being arrested at his house. He had got into it with his wife, and you could tell that he was intoxicated. Okay, basically him and his family, the wife and children, had barricaded themselves into a room, called the police. You know, saying, well, hey, my husband's tripping. Can you guys come out? Okay. So he's belligerent. He comes outside. They have him in handcuffs, and he keeps telling them, I'm an administrator. I'm an elected official. I'm an elected official. Well, okay, you shouldn't have been drinking and trying to hit your wife. But this is where I don't like this, okay? And this is why I want you guys to pay more attention to how they are able to allow other people to be able to win. Okay, how other people are able to get past, like, oh, just a little slap on the wrist or whatever when they do stuff. But when you do stuff personally, they bank you. Okay, so he goes to jail on a domestic violence. He is a elected official. Okay, they gave him some hours of community service and $150 ticket, or a $60 class and $100 and some odd ticket. Okay, anyone else, if this was a black judge, she would lose her position, right? Like the black judge did here, okay? And would have to fight to be able to fight this encounter. And it's supposed to be proven you're innocent until proven guilty, but he was guilty, and then they gave him, like, it's okay. So the difference is that he is able to go to court, and the judge was like, this is, as long as you're able to comply, then you'll be okay, and we'll drop the charges to like a smaller charge. Okay. That frustrates me, because other people, okay, when things happen, they lose their job. They make it public that these people lose their job, and then turn back around, and then you allow certain people not to. So the January 6 people, okay. You have protesters from George Floyd that were in jail the year before, all right, and are still in jail today, have sentences of 3, 4 years, 5, 6 years of them protesting, not touching anybody, not breaking no windows, not pushing anybody, not killing an officer, not spraying an officer, not standing on the podium, not threatening the lives of us, basically senior citizens that sit on the boards in Congress, but literally walking down the street and actually being late for a curfew. They are in jail for 2 to 3 years now. And then you have these thugs, okay, these ghetto hooligans who went into the White House and decided that they were going to trash the place, smoke weed in the place, litter the place with Confederate flags and hateful things. They wrote on stuff. They stole stuff. And these are the people that you call patriotic. Okay. These are also the people who are going to be voting for these Republican parties who are coming in. And I'm not a Democrat. I am a person who's going to vote for the best person possible. Okay. And we pick from the trash because the trash is what they put in front of us, not taking control of the fact that We are in charge. Remember the other show that we talked about, I talked about how your Senate, your Congress, your House is where you pick the people, okay? And you have the power to be able to either let them lead, tell them what you want, and then kick their ass out if they're not about their business. But we don't, because we don't believe that we have the authority that we really do, that is written into our laws and rights. Okay. So I wanted to shine light on the fact that this man has, he dressed up like and I'm going to say it, like a Hispanic worker. Okay. That's what he did, because in real life, no case, no face, no case. Okay. He had on what looked like a worker's outfit, which he's not a worker. Okay. And he went to this man's house and stabbed him up, which stabbing someone is a personal hateful way to kill somebody. Okay. You need force and you need anger in that to be able to push that knife into people's body. And he did it several times and left this man outside, not caring. Okay. Decided he wanted to see the body laying out there and drive past the man's camera in the car that he had parked at his house. The audacity and the privilege of his mindset of he would not get in trouble with this. Okay. Then, privilege did this. The police show up at his house. They're at his house for overnight, looking into things that he had in the house. They arrest this man and they release him to arrest him again. Now, normally the reason why they do that is to see if like he's going to detour, go to where the murder weapon is, go to where he hid this, see if he's going to run, if he's going to go to the bank and empty the bank out. Is he going to start going towards the state line? Things like that. Okay. But my black ass would not have been able to get out. I would have been sitting there. They wouldn't have been like, let her out. Okay. Because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna sit still if I knew I had did some stuff. Okay. I'm gonna get ghosts. All right. And he didn't. He stayed here. I'm not sure if you guys realized a couple of years ago when Trump was running, Addison had bought the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Okay. And then he fired all the top black executives that worked there. Okay. Every last one of them were top sellers or top of their department, and he released every last one of them, and then started to publish things to be able to push Chump started to push Chump's agenda. Okay, so the problem I have with this is that we still publicate or still give our money to these medias, these media outlets, and they never have our interests at heart. Okay, once again, this is a black owned radio station. You can always market, advertise, and promote here, so you'll be able to get to the people who will actually purchase your item. Okay, and once again, please, when you are purchasing from your family, friends, and loved ones, stop asking them for a discount. If you can go into Louis Vuitton and drop it on them without asking them for a discount, your homeboy who is selling the t-shirts, give him the $25 and buy a second one for somebody. Start to support. Stop being that dude that never wants to help but always wants a discount. Okay? Don't like those dudes. All right. So then, that's basically my local news. I wanted to be able to speak on that because we are here and able to make sure that these type of people don't end up back in office. I don't want a murderer as a person that's able to administrate over things that I need to do here. Okay. And I'm not saying he's a murderer. I'm just saying the camera said it. All right. So, I want to go into some international news. I want to talk to you guys because this was hard for me to watch. Okay. There was a mass grave found in area in Ukraine where they had recently been able to regain that ground. They found over 440 people in this mass grave with crosses all over this little forest area, saying that several children with their hands bound behind their back and died violently. in this mass grave. This is heartbreaking. Okay,
uncovered.
Let's go ahead and listen to it.
We're in a mass graveyard in a region retaken from Russian forces. More than 440 bodies have been found, most believed to be Ukrainian civilians, many with their hands and feet tied, most with evidence of violent deaths. And given these new discoveries, President Zelensky once again calling on the world to label Russia a state sponsor of terror. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge in Ukraine again tonight.
Tonight, horrifying new evidence of alleged Russian atrocities. Authorities digging up body after body at a mass gravesite in the newly liberated Ukrainian city of Izium. Ukraine calling it genocide, saying more than 440 people, including children, are buried here. Many victims showing signs of torture, legs bound, hands tied behind their backs, some with broken bones and ropes around their necks. This Ukrainian official showing the crosses marking the graves of an entire family. A mother, a father, their 6-year-old daughter and grandparents, all believed to have been killed by a Russian airstrike. Tonight, President Zelensky reiterating his call to label Russia a sponsor of terrorism, something he pushed for last week, sitting down with David.
The world has seen the atrocities. What does justice look like?
I think that those responsible should not just go to hell. No, they should have fair trials, fair, independent trials. Now we ask the United States to recognize Russia as the country's sponsor of terrorism.
Pressed today, the White House saying that labeling Russia a sponsor of terrorism could limit the flow of humanitarian aid into Ukraine, and acknowledging the horrors in Izium.
It's horrifying. It's repugnant. And sadly, it's in keeping with the kind of depravity and the brutality with which Russian forces have been prosecuting this war.
And after that stunning Ukrainian offensive that liberated the Kharkiv region, Vladimir Putin today admitting he won't achieve his main goal of capturing the entire eastern Donbass region anytime soon, defiantly claiming Russia is in no rush. Today, the US releasing another $600 million worth of military aid, taking the total US spend on this war to $15 billion. David?
Tom Sufi Burridge in Kharkiv again tonight. Tom, thank you.
All right.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for...
So I just wanted to give some light on that. I'm not against... Let me put this. The other day, last time I did my show, I talked about white on white crime and how I don't get in the mix of it and stuff like that. But the same things happen in Sierra Leone. Same things happen in the Ivory Coast, where they were mass killing these people in front of people, like just gunning them down. And it's heartbreaking to hear that, period, from anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a evil force that is okay with exterminating people. And I believe that that's the same thing that they are showing our children too. So this is why it's important for me to express this. I watch my little cousins or kids, period, watch, YouTubes and stuff like that of them watching Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto and things like this, and they believe that this stuff is real. Like, oh, okay, they don't realize that once you die, you're gone. There is not a, oh, okay, I get to restart the game or I get another chance. That's not real, okay? And for those 440 people who are in the mass grave, that is truly not the situation. This is not a game. And if this can happen here, we can end up having a civil war between all these the race wars and people having issues with how government is treating them and everything else. We can have a war where Russia or the whole entire Asia decides that they want to go ahead and go to war with us. They have lived this life before. Okay, we have bombed them before. We have fought them before. This can happen here. Every regime, every empire has had their time to shine and time to fall. We have had depression. We have had murder here. We have had murders of black people. We have had murders of Indians. We have had murders of Hispanic people. We have had murders. We have had concentration camps of Chinese people, Vietnamese people. They have put gay people in concentration camps. Okay. They have put bans on Muslims here. They have put bans on Hispanic people here. They have decided that they're going to ship people to different places. It is evil forces in this world that do not care in regards to what you had to do. Like, you woke up today to have a good day, to go to work and to go home with your kids, have dinner and watch a show. And you, all of a sudden, in the middle of your day, there's a bomb that goes off. And now you have to figure out how to shelter in place or find shelter for you and your children. This can happen here if we are not focused on what our options are. Okay? And just because it's international news doesn't mean that it doesn't affect people here. I have family members in the military. Okay? If we have to go to war, I don't want them fighting this white man's rich war. I don't. I don't think it's fair for my family member, which is only thing that he's going to get after this is maybe a free education, which he should already get because he's a citizen. Okay. Or maybe he should get the free health care that he's going to need because he's going to have what do you call it? PTSD. That, okay. Exposed to different minerals or gases or poisons that's in the air. Okay. He has to mentally go through things. He has to, if he's shot or something happens to his body, he has to go through life like that. And then he has to go back to his family and be a regular person and still be a provider. These things are very real and we don't realize it until it's at our front door. Let's not be asleep until they hit the alarm on us. Okay. Going into that, Florida and Texas decided that they are no longer going to take migrants into their areas, right? Which is funny because their migrants are the people that's actually building their places, that's actually making sure that they have food picked. And I'm not even going to go there. There are very educated and very developed families in Hispanic, Latin, whatever, that have been here. We forget that this was there. This belonged to them before America came over here and stole it. Okay? So, Britain came over here and stole it. Okay? So we have to be careful about what we're putting people through. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about how they were trying to get $4 million per person for the Mexican migrants that were being put in cages at the border, right? Now, just think about this. They decided, a clip that I have, they decided that a Florida governor said he was going to send these immigrants who came in on buses to Martha's Vineyard, which is a very prestigious black area, okay? And whose house did he so-called say he was sending them to? He said he was sending them to Vice President Kamala Harris' house, okay? He didn't send them to the White House. They did say that they were going to send them to the White House, but they sent them to Martha's Vineyard. Now, the people in Martha's Vineyard that you might know would be like Oprah, Tyler Perry, Obama and his wife, okay? Rich black people, the vice president. So I want you to go ahead and listen to the clip.
It's the playground for the rich and famous, Martha's Vineyard. But today, the ritzy island enclave finds itself at the center of a political firestorm as 50 migrants from Venezuela arrived on chartered flights and no one knew they were coming.
An escalation in the political fight over immigration.
The governor of Florida taking credit for sending at least 2 planes filled with migrants to the wealthy Massachusetts island of Martha's Vineyard.
The Obamas own a palatial $11.7 million home on Martha's Vineyard. The former president is often seen around the island mingling with folks. Comedian Larry David lives on 70 acres. Director Spike Lee also has a home there. The late Jacqueline Kennedy's estate recently sold for $65 million. Martha's Vineyard is also a liberal sanctuary, which is what led Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to fly the asylum seekers there.
We are not a sanctuary state, and it's better to be able to go to a sanctuary jurisdiction. And yes, we will help facilitate that transport for you to be able to go to greener pastures.
The migrants, including children, who arrived in Martha's Vineyard were misled about where they were being taken and what would be provided when they arrived is also deeply alarming.
Caught off guard, the citizens of Martha's Vineyard nonetheless jumped into action. The asylum seekers were taken to a community center, fed, and given a place to sleep. Reporter Dan Housley from Boston's WHDH-TV is there.
The townspeople are saying that the politics are terrible. They think this is a shame how these people got here, but they put that aside and say regardless of that, they're going to help these people.
Famed attorney Alan Dershowitz has a summer house on Martha's Vineyard. Alan, what do you think of this?
This is going to backfire on DeSantis and others. The people of Martha's Vineyard are welcoming these folks with open arms. I've already offered to pay through my synagogue for feeding them, giving them medical care. We're a country of immigrants. We're going to take care of these people.
All right, so that was what I wanted to get to. Is the point of the matter is you sent them to somewhere where they were going to actually help them. Okay, why not help them? Like, if I'm going through something to the point where I feel like my only outlet is for me to jump in some water and swim to another country, or make a boat and swim to another country, or get into a back of a U-Haul and that could kill me from heat exhaustion and go to a different country, I'm already going through something. And there's no compassion in the fact that Florida, the majority of the people that you have there are Latin and Hispanic. Why would this be a problem for you? Why don't you have programs instead of trying to develop additional programs like we don't want hate race theory taught in our schools, and you're putting up all this money for that? Okay, instead of saying, you know what, we have a problem here with people coming over the border and they're seeking asylum. Let's see how we can help them. This is an issue, but you sent them to some black people. And anytime in life, when you ever saw that somebody was they were at need and they end up needing some help and they end up at a black person's house, that black people always help. Okay, so it didn't surprise me that the people of Martha's Vineyard said, we're going to jump in and make sure that these people are comfortable and are not dealing with this additional drama. So shouts out to the people, the residents of Martha's Vineyard. Shouts out to the people who decided that they were going to help this situation instead of just sending it about. In Florida, pay attention to who you are putting into office, because it could have easily been my family members. It could have easily been your family members. Okay? And just to throw away the problem like it's not there. They just threw away people. Okay? So I just want you guys to be aware of that. Florida, please vote this fool out. Anyway, I just want to briefly speak on the Queen. Not much. God bless you. It's not much to talk about because she ain't shit. And she probably, she's standing in line right now. Like, I know I ain't going to make it into this club. They ain't going to let me in. They're not going to let you in. The problem I have is that we didn't pay attention to how many black and brown countries that she had, in her reign, okay? And then before her reign, her father, her mother, her people, the terror that they put on these people, okay? The fact that she stole all of their riches and all their resources of all these different places. They talk about her having the eye of Africa. And I think they said it was worth $400 million or something like that. That ain't yours. Girl, That's not yours. Go put that back. Go put it back. All the resources that they are able to lavish themselves in, okay, to have these today slaves that they have at their house today. And now I wanted to speak about this because I wasn't here last week, but I expressed that she died of COVID. She died of COVID maybe a week after Cicely Tyson. Yeah, she looked like Cicely Tyson grandmama, okay, but she died of COVID, and then they retracted that back and said that she hadn't died. That was at the beginning of the war. I believe that they were talking about this on the Shady Ass Tea with the Fine Ass Kreese and Sir. Okay, so they were talking about this, and I recall her dying. Okay, and then her body double jumped in, looked like her, but looked like she went and got like a BBL and a facelift. She was over there, you know what I'm saying, having baby blood cocktails. Now I said this yesterday, and this might get me kicked off Facebook, but fuck you. There is a problem, okay, because I know, I don't doubt that black baby's blood won't help you. I don't doubt it. You know why? Because anything you eat, anything that you eat that's high in fiber, iron, and you know what I'm saying, minerals, helps your body, right? So I'm not putting it past these conspiracy theories of these people drinking kids' blood. Too many kids come up missing. Too many black women come up missing. Every time a black woman goes to the hospital and she has a rare blood type, they just keep her in the hospital until they just drain her of every drop that she can give them. Okay? I don't doubt that the blood that is enriched, okay, and full of minerals and things like that doesn't help them. I think that it does. I think it probably does. And I think that is something that they've probably been doing. Now, I'm not saying that my thoughts are not the thoughts of Hot 702.5, but if you got a problem, call in 702-551-5261. I'll talk to you. And so, it bothers me that people will put their blinders on and just say, oh, well, she was a queen and she was just sweet, she was an old lady and this all this stuff, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. She basically, if Hitler had grown to be old, he would be an old person, and he'd probably look like an old person, and he probably wouldn't look like he looks so nice, he looks so sweet, he's an old man, right? That's the same thing I feel about her. Do you know how many countries suffered behind being able to make sure that she had silks and robes and diamonds and gold and all this, while she reigned over these countries, pilling them of all of their resources, and the people dying of famine in these countries. You know, seeing Ethiopia and all that stuff, and you seeing the babies and all their stomachs pushed out and everything else, whatever. She was in charge of these countries. When they left these countries, they left them with nothing because they had already peeled them of everything that they could take them from except the baby's blood. Okay? So it does bother me when people are like, why you got something to say about her? She's dead. This, I don't give a fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't care. Okay. Where was she at when she was supposed to be helping these countries? Where was she at when all these black and brown countries end up not having anything? And then when they finally fight their way back to get their independence, then she just, instead of giving them their stuff back, she leaves them in famine and they have nothing. And they have to start from the bottom up. But of course, black and brown people, not to say we come from nothing, because we are the true queens and kings that are really here. But we have gotten used to the fact of them stealing and taking everything that we have and confusing us and making sure that we don't know who we are. Okay? So the fact that people put their blinders on to the things that she did, and then you see these videos of her coming up on children getting ghosts, like because you know kids can tell. If kids have the purest thoughts in their head, okay, for a child to be terrified of this little old woman, it's something else. It's something else there. And I don't care. I don't care, and I hope she burn in hell, how they say. Okay, you go do the things that you do to people, and that's another thing. My Christian people, y'all always talk about how you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive. If God can forgive them for the things they do, he can forgive me for the things I'm saying. Okay? If I'm wrong, he'll let me know when I get to the gate. But when I get there, I'm sure go ask him, like, did this conversation go on with Lizzie? Because Lizzie did a whole bunch of stuff. Okay? I ain't did half the stuff Lizzie did. All right? And I'm not going to argue with God. I'm just going to ask if I can be put on like a probationary, you know what I'm saying, like 90-day little situation. Let me get in there and let me see what's happening. But I just want to say that. Okay? And then quickly, I just want to go ahead and just talk about black journalists not being able to speak their mind on TV to these people.
2016 been a stressful year for black folks, man. You got two candidates nobody want to vote for. You got chaos in the streets. And for the most part, most black people get to emote the way they want to. But there's one group that can't. The black journalists. When you're black and on TV, people say awesome stuff to you like this.
The post-colonial victim, I don't get it, sorry.
Yeah, no you don't, fake Gary Busey. And that ain't even the worst of it.
Say you're a cocaine dealer, and you kind of look like one a little bit.
He just said that out loud. Most people would have cussed that dude out, but if you're a black journalist, you got to keep your cool.
As do you. You look like a cocaine user, so yeah, we're even. So.
Black journalists constantly have to bite their tongue. They come close to the line, but God bless them, they never cross it. Because if they do, then they'll be labeled an angry black man. You can't be emotional about anything, especially if you're a black anchor. Look at Lester Holt. This brother had to sit right across from Trump and not react. He had a front row seat to the bull.
Okay. The bullshit. Okay, so this is the thing. Let's stop allowing them to be able to censor us, and let's not being able to say what we want to say and what will actually get to our people so we understand what's going on. Just to let you guys know, you can win all week tickets here to the Foodie Fest. Make sure you guys are calling in 702-551-5261. This is the Chisholm Report. I am Kristie J. You can come see me every Saturday at 10 a.m. If you see somebody out there grinding, let them know you see them shining. And I'll see you guys again next week on Saturday at 10 a.m. Thank you. Love you.
Election time's coming.